Hello everybody and welcome back. We're looking at a bit of a different video today. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be polishing up the wood on our airgun, or the gun stock, whichever you prefer to call it. So we've got a few bits here, as you can see. We've got our airgun, microfiber cloth, a bit of like a buffing cloth. We got some gloves, and then we've got this wax, which is a CCL fine wax polish. I'll leave a link in the description for this, as this is specifically for wooden guns. There's not really a lot to this, but I just thought I'd kind of give you a little of a guide through how to do this. So first of all, just take your clean microfiber cloth and just wipe the gun down. If there's any dust, anything like that, we don't really want to mix it in with the wax. Not that it's really going to do any damage. It may scrape a little bit if you're polishing, but the main thing is we don't want it to sit in with the wax, so we just want to make sure the gun is nice and clean. Now you can put this on the metal. I haven't personally done it. Sometimes you can't help it, but I do try to avoid it. And then just underneath here. So the gun has been wiped down quickly. Not that it really needed to, I kind of keep on top of it and keep it in a nice case. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move over to these gloves. I'm going to take this watch off because the last thing I want is this stuff everywhere. So we'll chuck that there and we'll get our latex gloves on. Now this stuff does smell. I couldn't get my words out then. So just be warned. I'm personally outside. Make sure you're in a well ventilated area, or you can use a mask. But you don't really want to be stinking your house out with this stuff, because they do mix a chemical with this wax to make it last longer. Now you don't need a lot when you're doing this, so let's just move this cloth over here out the way on somewhere clean. Now we've got our microfiber cloth, we've got our tin. So as you can see, this is the wax. I can already smell it. You can see there's little bits chipping off there, but it's not a problem. This supposedly on their website will last a lifetime. And then all we're going to do is just rub it in like so, and you can kind of see a layer of it on the microfiber cloth. And then it is pretty much as simple as just kind of starting in swirls or doing straight lines, whichever you prefer. And we're basically just going to apply the wax. Ideally, I'd personally do straight lines on this like a car as we're applying wax. But obviously if you have cleaned the gun, then there should be no reason to kind of add any kind of scratches into the stock, which, you know, if you are swirling, it may cause. So pretty much we're just going to go over with a nice thick layer of this wax, like so. Literally all I'm doing, taking a microfiber, putting it in, and then just applying it all over the stock of this gun, like so. It's really not an exciting process. It can be a bit time consuming. You can put a layer on or two if you want. It's totally up to you. But as you can see, we're just gently applying it, trying not to miss any bits out. So what I'll probably do is chuck this into a time lapse now, because this is the boring bit. I'm literally just swirling the cloth and applying it onto the wood. So I'll get back to you once this is all done. Right, so we're back. Now I will make a little case. This isn't the type of polish that is taking a layer out of the wood like a typical car polish would. It would take a little bit of the metal paint down. This is basically just adding a sealant on top, which gives it a nice finish also. So as you can see, the whole gun's covered, bar under this bit. I'm not going to worry about this at this time. I can disconnect all that later. And as you can see on the metal, we have got a little bit of it here. That's not a problem. It's not going to cause any damage. It's going to kind of polish back straight out after we've buffed it all out. So we're going to get rid of this old one. I'm going to put the cap on here. Again, we'll do a close-up of the tin in case anyone, you know, there's different makes out there. This is just the one I've chosen to use. Hopefully the microphone is working and still going. And we're just going to let this sit for a couple of minutes now before we buff everything off. Usually just 2 or 3 minutes, I usually do. Right, we're back. Let's get our nice polishing cloth that we were on about, our buffing cloth. And now everything is setted a little bit. All we're going to do is we're just basically just going to buff it out. Like so. As you can see, sometimes it does get in the writing a little bit, so we'll use this to try and get in there and just try and get it out. You know, if it's thick, it's not a problem. It's not going to cause anything. It might smell for a little while, but that is not a problem because it will soon go, that smell. So that's nothing to worry about. So same again around here, we're just going to go over the whole of the gun. So this wax is buffed. And this is going to put a nice layer on our gun to make it nice and shiny and also protect it for its longevity. So we are going to get a bit more of a life span out of this wood. And hopefully you look after your gun anyway, so this will extend it even more. Now where we've got it as rubber, where I have the metal with the wax, it's not a problem. And like I said before, we're just going to buff it off. But this can be used on the metal as well, I do believe. I may be wrong, but I do believe you can do that. So we're just buffing the gun down. I can already tell it's nice and polished. This is probably the second layer I've put on this now, just because I wanted to put a nice thick layer on it, as it has never been done before, and this gun is, I believe, from 2014. So it's quite an old gun. So it's definitely an investment for me, this wax. But pretty much, yeah, that is it. The gun is now clean. Let's move this cloth out of the way. Have a look underneath, yep. Everything is looking how it's supposed to. And the gun is shining. If I just put it over here, you might be able to see it better in the light. So you can see that nice polished finish on it. It's quite hard to show, but so as you can see in the light, it is a lot nicer and shinier. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful. And it's a simple kind of beginner's guide on how to look after the wood on your gun. Please do subscribe, this has been helpful. Leave a like, leave a comment. Feedback's always appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video.